Hey, what's going on, friends? Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. And welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on the channel where I reflect on what's being said about the Blues, giving you my opinion on it, mate. More importantly, asking for yours, dear viewer slash listener. I turned to Dutch there for a moment. Watched any football lately? Nah, me neither, mate. Of course, I watched that train wreck of a football match. That was Chelsea's loss against Everton. No sentiment was lied there for Frank Lampard for me in that game. I was like, let's send the ruddy blighters down. Very frustrating. And Chelsea have reason to be frustrated at the moment. We're going to reflect on changes, though, and how Chelsea are about to go into an evolution, a transformation. I'm going to give you some updates on Boehly's ownership and who's going to run. I'm going to talk about Clearlake Capital, the money behind it as well. Lots of stuff. So please settle in and get comfortable. Do consider subscribing if you're yet to do so, friends. Drop a like to show some sweet love. Support your local content creator. Thank you very much, mate. Oh yeah, we're nearing 150k, which is absolutely insane. So thank you genuinely to all you viewers and listeners who support the content. It really means a lot to me. The football match against Everton was very frustrating. You've got the likes of £100 million striker Lukaku on the bench, not featuring. You've got, potential talisman in Kai Havertz getting absolutely done mentally by Yerry Mina, hook, line and sinker, demonstrating in many ways his immaturity and lack of experience on the pitch. And Chelsea are in a frustrating sort of end-of-season obscurity where they don't know where they are or what they're doing. But we must reflect on Thomas Tuchel and a little bit more context about this squad in just a second. Tuchel, despite only having one pre-season with Chelsea Football Club and making only one, permanent signing in Romelu Lukaku, with Saul sort of given as an obligated fourth choice midfielder loan. And Lukaku, I think, was probably presented to him as an opportunity rather than him saying, I need Romelu Lukaku, who, by the way, is an excellent striker when utilised appropriately, but upon reflection, and of course hindsight is 2020, he was never going to work at Chelsea. So, despite only having one pre-season and this one signing, he's, won the Champions League, Cup Carbao Cup, Super Cup. He's got to 2 FA Cup finals and a League Cup final. That body of work is immaculate. And also, yes, you want to be better. You want to be perfect. You don't want to be near perfect. And Chelsea are a massive team that could probably achieve that. But I saw a tweet online, so forgive me that I can't cite who tweeted this, that did like a breakdown of Manchester City and Liverpool's squad respectively, and how both of them had like an average of 95% of their players signed by their current managers. Whereas, Tuchel's only signed Lukaku, but not only has he not signed all these players so they don't fit his ethos, but in fact, the Chelsea squad is distributed from old legacies from loads of different managers, like back to Di Matteo, Mourinho, Conte, Sarri, Lampard, all of these managers signing a good chunk of players for their own ideas and, tactics and styles, and then put together on high wages, and you've got a swirling hot pot of dysfunction and disharmony. We've spoken about it before here on the channel. That's where we're at with this Chelsea team, man. So, if Tuchel is to develop a legacy here under the new ownership, Todd Boehly and gang, then, give him the keys, give him time, let him build a squad, afford him the same opportunities that Pep Guardiola has had at City, and of course Jurgen Klopp has had at Liverpool. And we might be cooking. We might reduce that wage bill, and we might increase that functionality. Therefore, entering the land of Premier League prosperity and title challenges, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Huh? How's that for a little bit of positivity? Poetic from me, I think. Of course, Chelsea are identifying new transfers. I think, Fabrizio Romano's tweeted this just yesterday? 2:40 a.m. Jesus, this man never sleeps. Chelsea still considering Jules Koundé as one of their potential targets. He's among 3 or 4 options, wow, that's a few, on the centre-back list. Tuchel's a big fan of Tuchel since 2 years. Sevilla always asked for the 80 million release clause. Chelsea will lose both Rudiger and Christensen. We know that. I don't think they'll ask for the release clause. Jules Koundé was very upset the deal didn't go over the line. I think we'll sign Koundé. I also actually think we'll probably sign someone else as well. So keep an eye on that. Chelsea will make signings this summer. And of course, if you're interested in the potential situation of Chelsea making statement signings, watch my previous upload where we reflect on that potentiality. interesting. We speculate on perhaps star strikers and maybe cutting a loss on Lukaku. But let's talk about the ownership, of course. Todd Boehly is the preferred bidder. Everyone expects this deal to get over the line. And I'm going to give you some context now from @JacobsBen, who is, of course, Ben Jacobs, who's been following and covering the story very, very well. The takeover, the Chelsea sale, the new era, etc. Excuse me. And yeah, so shout out to Ben, and let's read what he has to say. And he's talking about Clearlake here, who of course are the big investment firm that are putting in the majority of the money, and Hans-Jörg Wyss and Boehly putting in a bit. Told Clearlake's majority ownership of Chelsea Football Club won't delay or cause issues with the Premier League clearance, of course. So this is referring to the owners and directors test. The EPL have sought clarity over the identity and stakes of investors. But this is just a normal vetting to speed up the process. So they've been already doing stuff in the background, the Premier League, to make sure this can go through smoothly. Sources tell me that no owners and directors test delays are expected. Ding, ding, ding. Of course, this would be probably a massive issue had the Saudi media group got through, because after the Newcastle takeover, people are really, saying, look, this Saudi money has to be combed through finer detail. So that may have slowed things down had they won. Let's read on. It's natural to view Clearlake as a faceless, private investment firm, and so the Premier League have sought reassurances. But Clearlake's voice in the Chelsea sale comes from Bedad Eghbali, if I've pronounced that correctly. He's the Clearlake co-founder. I've just spat on my screen. And he'll be very engaged and hands-on in the process, as he is a football fan. He's a football fan. So it's not like some faceless money thing. He's like, no, I'm a founder of this investment firm. Here I am. Talk to me. I'm a football fan. I understand the game. I'm here to give you answers, which is good. Ding, ding, ding. Todd Boehly has led the pitch, as we all know, and will have operational control if successful as a minority owner. But Eghbali has been heavily involved so far, including on plans for the football side, which is interesting. So he's a football fan. He's the money. Here comes the money. And he's got. I mean, is that good or bad? Is he qualified? Is a billionaire football fan qualified to make decisions? Well, you could have said the same thing about Roman Abramovich. Truth is, I'm just pleased that the investment firm representative is a football fan. So he'll be like, footballers need to be good to play at Chelsea. Ding, ding, ding. Clearlake aren't a new addition either. I'm told their involvement for a share split was always the plan, pretty much ever since Boehly and Hans-Jörg Wyss joined forces, which was ages ago. Remember, that was like they were the first people to come out of nowhere. They were like, yes please, we fancy a bit of Chelsea. They were there at the beginning, they were there at the end, and clearly Clearlake was there with them. Let's read on. Boehly Group remains unconcerned by the Jim Ratcliffe bid, who of course came in very late, which lacks detail and has bypassed the process. Apparently they went straight to Chelsea. I don't know if that report's been substantiated, but didn't go to Rain. Radcliffe ruled himself out originally and came in at the 11th hour and just offered loads of money to Chelsea. But yeah, they haven't presented a plan or anything. And like Jacobs is saying here, they bypassed the process. Boehly will enter into a period of exclusivity. So this is what it is now. He's the preferred bidder, so he's got like a few days of period of exclusivity, talking to Chelsea, talking to Rain, talking to the government. So now it's just like you're into the final stage, final interview kind of thing. Boehly will enter a period of exclusivity, like I said, to sign a purchase agreement and is confident of completing the sale before May the 31st. So by the end of this month. And when we say completing the sale, we mean him making the agreement, signing all the papers, everyone really happy, and the tests all complete. Government clearance, Premier League test passing, all that gear by the end of the month. So before the transfer window and all that kind of stuff, which is huge, obviously. So Jim Ratcliffe, where does this leave Sir Jim Ratcliffe? Says here, Ratcliffe can't really do anything, and although his late bid might be genuine, it lacks substance. he carried out due to no diligence and given no written assurances for his plans for Nice, which is of course his other European elite club. Even if he was successful, it'll take time to resolve that matter, time that Chelsea Football Club do not have. And also as well, he didn't meet with any of like the pitch owners, the supporters trust, which everyone else did. And Todd Boehly spent loads of time. He went to games, he had meetings, he did all that kind of stuff. So the Boehly bid have exclusivity in a period when Chelsea need to wrap up a sale. It's only my view, but entertaining another suitor outside of the process when an urgent sale is needed would be counterproductive, not to mention very bad optics. Shout out, man, to Ben Jacobs. What excellent reporting throughout this day. I'm gonna be honest, I had no idea who this dude was. Clearly, he works for CBS Sports. And out of nowhere, man, I've never referenced this guy's work before. Maybe I should, because he's clearly got an in somewhere, whether it's Chelsea related or it's Rain related. Well done, sir. Great reporting, great resources, great resource for me as a content creator, and hopefully that makes me a good resource for you guys as consumers of the content. I really hope so. I really do hope that. So that's where we are, man. Look, it's easy to get understandably pissed off with what's going on the pitch, and trust me, I have been upset and frustrated to the point where I've had to put a pause on doing match reviews because I don't want to just regurgitate frustrated, upset content, because I need time to cool off, man. I'm a Chelsea fan like you guys. Uncertain, unsettling times, but I am ever an optimist, and I believe this transformation will be a ultimately positive one, at least in a lot of ways. Todd Boehly wants to win. I was listening to a neutral football podcast, easy for me to say, reflect on this, and one chat was speaking about how, look, this looks like he's the best option for them. He wants to win. They won't waste money. They'll look to make money, but ultimately that might make them more meticulous in how they run the club. Chelsea are the greatest gift Roman Abramovich gave to Chelsea wasn't just the titles, it was making them into the force and the marketing force and the revenue generator they are today. Chelsea can make money. Despite Chelsea losing money and Roman putting money out, Chelsea can renegotiate deals. Chelsea, with their owners actually having visas in the UK, can redevelop Stamford Bridge. They can make more money, and they can not spend money. They can make sure they don't spend it stupidly as well. Ultimately, Chelsea can be in a lot stronger financial position. I am genuinely intrigued and interested that, people with all these different sports teams experience, and, with the Clearlake guy having footballing interests as well, Chelsea can do some new negotiating for deals and marketing deals, make a lot of money. Like Woodward at Man United, he was involved with footballing, decisions, and that ultimately was his downfall. He made a lot of money for United. Chelsea get a little bit of that juice, just start generating a lot more revenue in marketing, ticket sales at the new Stamford Bridge, not spending £100 million on Lukaku, not triggering clauses to buy Kepa for 72 million, utilising the youth with Thomas Tuchel, who is inclined to do so. Chelsea could be in a much better position in a transformatively evolutionary state. I don't know what I'm saying, so I'm going to end the video, but please do leave me your thoughts, feelings, and emotions down in the comment section below, and thank you for subscribing if you choose to do so, because I'm really keen to see that 150k, and hopefully this week we'll have some new graphics, so keep it locked. Love you all. Peace.
So tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.